Systematically, Anthoceros belong to the division Sporophyte, class Anthoceropsida, order Anthocerotellus, family Anthocerotaceae, and the genus is Anthoceros. Actually, the name Anthoceros means flower horn and refers to the characteristic horn-shaped sporophytes. Anthoceros is a genus of hornbirds in the family Anthocerotaceae. Actually, these are about 250 species and widely distributed in the tropical and the temperate region. It is widely distributed in both the hemispheres of the world. Species of Anthoceros are generally occur on moist soil and shady places. Species of Anthoceros are characterized by having a small to medium-sized green thallus. Anthoceros species are host to species of nostoc. Nostoc belong to the cyanobacteria, blue-green algae. So Anthoceros and nostoc form an association known as symbiotic relationship, in which both are benefited to each other. The hornbirds grow on moist clay soils, on hills, in ditches, and in damp hollows. A few species of Anthoceros grow on decaying woods. Anthoceros' main plant body is gametophytic, as other bryophytes. Their main plant body has thalloid structure. Thalloid structure means their body cannot be differentiated easily into root, stem, and leaves. Thallus is dorsiventral, prostrate, dark green in color. It is bilobed or pinnately branched. So, dichotomously branched means branched into two. The lobes have wavy margin and Anthoceros form small rosette-like plants. The dorsal surface are smooth or velvety or rough with spines and ridges thick in the middle and without a distinct midrib, while ventral surface bears many unicellular smooth-walled rhizoids. Small mucilaginous cavities are present on the ventral sides, and these cavities contain colonies of a blue-green alga like nostoc. Blue-green alga means cyanobacteria because they form an symbiotic an association that is called symbiotic relationship between Anthoceros and nostoc, in which both are benefited to each other. Stomata like small slits are present on the dorsal side of the thallus, and mucilage ozones out through these slits. The internal features of the thallus of Anthoceros plant, when we cut or we take the vertical transverse section of the thallus, shows a very simple structure, and it is composed of thin-walled parenchymatous cells. The thallus has uniform tissue of parenchymatous cells, and epidermis is present on both sides. The cells in the upper region contain the chloroplast. Generally, each cell contains a single chloroplast. Each chloroplast has a pyrenoid. The thallus is thickest in the middle, and it gradually becomes thinner towards the margin. The epidermal cells contain chloroplast, and each chloroplast has a pyrenoid. Cells of lower epidermis give rise to smooth unicellular rhizoids. As far as the reproduction in Anthoceros plant is concerned, Anthoceros can be propagated by both vegetative and sexual propagation and reproduction. Vegetatively, they can be propagated by fragmentation, tubers, gamete, by persistent growing apexes, and by apospore. And when we talk about the sexual reproduction in Anthoceros plant, Anthoceros has both monoecious and dioecious species. Monoecious means the plant which has both male and female reproductive organ on the same plant, while dioecious means the male and female reproductive organs are born on two different plants. Male plants are smaller than the female in the dioecious species, while in monoecious species the antheridia are produced earlier than Archegonia. The sex organs are deeply embedded in the thallus. The antheridia are present on the upper sides of the thallus in small cavities, and they are found in groups of 2 to 4. The antheridial cavities are completely covered by a double layer of cells. They have no opening to the outside, and each antheridium is borne on a multicellular stalk. The main body of the antheridium is globose, and it has a single cell thick jacket layer. Jacket layer means the sterile single layer around the antheridium. Antheridia have mass of androgonial cells, and they give rise to biflagellated anthrozoids. Anthrozoids means sperms. So, the roof of the antheridial cavity and antheridial wall ruptures, and it releases anthrozoids in the surrounding water. Archegonium are the female reproductive organ. They are produced close to the growing point. Each archegonium develops from a single superficial cells of the thallus. Archegonia are embedded in the tissues of the thallus, and each archegonia consists of an egg and a ventral canal cells and 4 neck canal cells. So each archegonium contains 3 parts: egg, ventral canal cells, and neck canal cells. The canal of the archegonium is closed at the top by 4 cover cells, and these cells projected slightly above the general surface of the thallus. The neck canal cells and ventral canal cells produces a mass of mucilage at maturity, and it forms an opening for the release of anthrozoids. Sporophyte or Sporogonium in Anthoceros has certain unique features. Sporogonium actually born on the Gametophyte because it is independent, but mature Sporogonium does not totally dependent on the Gametophyte. It contains 2 parts, food and capsule. In Anthoceros, food is a mature Sporogonium, has a well-developed cup-like food, and this food has few rhizoids at the base. The capsule forms the upper part of the sporogonium, and it is long, narrow and cylindrical. It has no distinct seta, and the cells in the basal part of the capsule are meristematic. Therefore, capsule constitutes to grow. So, capsule continuously grow, and a columella is present in the center of the capsule. A narrow region encircles the columella, and this region contains the spores and multicellular elaters. So, elater is also present in Anthoceros, and seta is absent. The wall of the mature sporogonium is in several cells in thickness, and the outermost epidermal layer has cutinized wall. The epidermis has a small stomata with guard cells. The cells of the capsule wall contain chloroplast. They can perform photosynthesis. Therefore, the sporophyte is not totally dependent on the gametophyte. The wall of the mature sporogonium ruptures at the apex into two walls. It exposes the columella and spores. So, the mature sporophyte consists of bulbous foot and a smooth, slender, erect cylindrical capsule. The sporogonium appears like a bristle or horn, hence the species are called hornbirds. The life cycle of Anthoceros. In the life cycle of Anthoceros, two morphologically distinct phases constitute their life cycle. The life cycle of this type, which is characterized by alternation of generation and sporogenetic meiosis, is known as heteromorphic and dimorphic. Life cycle of Anthoceros. In Anthoceros, two morphologically distinct phases constitute the life cycle. The life cycle of this phase, which is characterized by alternation of generation and sporogenic meiosis, is known as heteromorphic and diplomorphic. So, heteromorphic and diplomorphic alternation of generation is found in the life cycle of Anthoceros. The plant becomes wet with dew or rain during fertilization, and the anthrozoids are attached towards the archegonium chemotactically, and anthrozoids enters the archegonium through the neck canal cells. One of them fuses with the egg to complete the fertilization. Thus, the zygote increases in size and completely fills the venter. So, it secretes a wall to become the oospore. So, after the formation of egg and sperms and fertilization, zygote is formed, and zygote thus become the oospores. When each germination, each spore has an outer thick wall, each spore has an outer thick wall called exosporium and an inner thin wall called endosporium. The spores undergo period of rest of few weeks or months, and the outer wall ruptures during germination, and the inner wall produces out to form protonema. So the cells of protonema become green and the apical cells of Protonema from thallus. Since rhizoids come out from certain cells of the lower cells and they fix the thallus out to the soil. And some mucilaginous cavities also develops at the lower sides. Nostoc filaments are entered through these tubes and apospory are formed. Certain cells of the sporophyte can develop into gametophyte directly under certain conditions. This phenomenon is called apospory and it produces diploid gametophyte. Hence, gametophyte is produced. Thank you so much, students. Allah Hafiz.